It was all going so very well. We had played Rin, we had played the spells, and then the Warlock weapon just plops Azari down onto the board. That is so unfortunate. We were not able to destroy his deck, but we have a threatening board, and he's just emoting me there, because then this happens. Yes, this is Exodia Mage. Here comes his combo. Apprentices, Molten Reflections, completes the quest, and I was hovering over the concede button thinking, yeah, this is it, I'm done. There's the quest completed, continues to draw. Do you require my assistance? Continues to draw, and this would be his undoing. Oh yes, that's right, target Tony. Scroll of Wonders here. I wonder if he thinks this was a mistake. Oh dear. Tony's still alive, but not for long. So, the mage now has no surefire way of killing me.
That was a mistake.
He has to rely on his hero power, but hey, that does 2 damage. Okay, that's something. But I have Dark Pact in hand to counter that. I have a Spellstone. And not only that, I have an incredibly commanding board here that's just going to eat him up. So, in the interest of clearing board, Shadowflame here is pretty decent. We have Mortal Coil even for card draw. I would say that we're in a pretty good position. It was all very unfortunate. All very unfortunate. By all rights, he should have won that game. But RNG screwed him over. Oh look, triple Azari on the board. Now, we could have timed that previous attack better. We could have put him down to low enough health such that fatigue would have killed him. So on the previous turn, we actually mistimed our attack a little bit. But hey, it's fine. I mean, he's at 2 health. We have a much better health total than him. We have the Warlock hero power. We have Hellfire. Short of him stealing a spell like, oh, I don't know, what would he steal that would clear this board? Maybe he has Deathwing in his hand, but even then, there's no way out of it. And I think at this point in time, he must be feeling incredibly salty. But he's still hanging in there. He's still trying. I mean, there's another Sorcerer's Apprentice. Maybe he's hoping to do his combo again. Oh look, Molten Reflection. Maybe he's got another Antonidas from somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, even he was lucky enough to draw a Fireball from Camelot's Tome. That's how lucky this guy was. But still very unlucky, given that RNG screwed him over earlier in the game. Oh well. So that was a bit of fun there. The deck we were playing was the Oakheart Ripperlock. Now, the key card, or one of the key cards in the deck, is Master Oakheart. The whole idea is he brings out a 1, a 2, and a 3 attack minion onto the board. And, you know, your 1 attack, 2 attack, 3 attack minions pretty much are taunts for the most part, apart from Voidripper. And, you know, they're taunts with high health and low attack. And then you play the Voidripper to switch their health and attack, and then you go face and win the game. That's sort of the idea behind this deck. It's very creative in that sense. It's fun. It's, you know, it's innovative. I give the author of the deck all the credit in the world for being innovative. How would I classify this deck on a tier list? I do think that that normal cube lock or giant's lock is still far superior. I just think that this deck has a few problems, a few issues, as I've experienced playing it. You know, you've got issues like the Warlock weapon, Skull of the Minari. Quite often will bring out a Voidripper onto the board. You do not want Voidripper on the board due to Skull of the Minari. It loses the battlecry effect. You know, Warlock weapon putting down a Rin is not a bad thing. Putting down a Voidlord is not a bad thing. Hey, even putting down a Vulgar Homunculus is not a bad thing. But putting down the Voidripper sort of defeats the whole purpose of the deck. And I've had games where, you know, it's put down both Voidrippers onto the board, and that's annoyed the hell out of me. So yeah, there's an issue there. Warlock weapon, is it really required? But I see why it's required. I mean, you do want those Voidlords down onto the board for free, really. You know, otherwise, you know, you've got to pay 9 mana. I understand that. Master Oakheart can put out a 3-attack minion that is a Voidripper. That is also a flawed interaction. That's quite unfortunate. So yeah, it's a deck that has its issues, has its problems, but having said that, when it works, it really works well. And of course you have refill capability on the board, Blood Reaver Gul'dan, Enzoth the Corruptor. Now, you'll notice something about this deck. There are no wildcards. This is a standard deck that I'm playing. I'm waiting for the end of the season. I hit rank 4 in Wild. I'm pretty cool with that. So I'm going to be playing a few standard decks just to see what it's like. So let's have a look at our first game of this deck in action on the standard mode ladder.
Your soul shall be mine.
Right, so we're starting out against a mage, and it's going to be one of two kinds of mage. This is standard mode, remember, so it's not wild mode, so Reno Mage is ruled out. It's going to be Secrets Mage or potentially some kind of Quest Mage or Exodia Mage. So keeping the Hellfire I think was sensible. It deals with Mana Worms. If it's Secrets Mage, it deals with Kirin Mages, which is pretty good. Those minions all have 3 health. We've picked up a 1-drop and we've got a 2, so we have a curve coming, which is pretty important. And there's the quest, so we now know what to expect. He is going to look to play Antonidas along with Sorcerer's Apprentices and Molten Reflections after completing the quest, and then he's going to look to burn us down. So basically, we need to win before he gathers the combo pieces. So, how long do we have? Well, that's all dependent on his ability to draw cards and his ability to complete the quest. Happy to go face there. We could have killed it and Mortal Coiled, but I fancy getting the 2 damage in. If he's going to kill the 2/4, he needs to trade potentially, and if he trades, we can then coil what's left of his minion. Alternatively, he could have Frostbolt and a ping, which would be unfortunate. Oh, it's really bad for us. We just lost a Voidlord. But anyway, he did trade, so we do have coil value here. The question is, after I Mortal Coil, what am I doing? We have the coin, so we have 5 mana to play with. Coiling first is sensible. I'm really tempted just to play a tempo Voidripper. You see, what was the alternative? The alternative was Dirty Rat, but then maybe we can't deal with whatever comes out. If he gets an Antonidas, then we can't kill it. He then plays a few spells, gets a few fireballs, and simply wins the game. So Tempo Voidripper. Obviously, the whole point of this deck is to get your taunts down, then to play the Voidripper. But in this situation, just wanted something, anything on board that can trade or do a bit of damage to his face. It may not have been the correct play, but anyway, his turn is slow here. He's not doing much. He's developed a secret. I want to test for counterspell. It's not. And now we've played Rin, and Rin is pretty interesting in this matchup. If we can play the seals that come out of Rin quickly, then there is a chance that we can burn his deck. And maybe we burn some of the combo pieces. Well, he's played the Doomsayer, so this is a perfect rat turn. Do you require my assistance? No. No, we don't. So Antonidas is about to die. And that's his combo gone. That's it. He can't kill me. Well, he can. It's just going to take a lot of extra effort for him to do the damage. He's clearly thinking about something here.
What to do?
Perhaps pondering how he could win. How would he win? Unless his deck runs something interesting beyond Antonidas that I'm not aware of, how would he win? Or maybe he's just rage quit. Maybe he's just closed his client and thought, screw this game, I'm not playing it anymore. Dirty rat RNG screwed me over. That's probably what's happening here.
Time runs out on me.
Yeah, there's the rope. I assume this is a rage quit. So we're just going to emote him a little here. Do we give him a well played? Yes, I think we do. Okay, he waited right till the end of the rope. That was a pretty sweet win. Okay, our next opponent is a Warlock.
I am your nightmare.
So the assumption is that it's going to be a cube lock, or some kind of control lock, or maybe he's going to play a few giants. I'm used to seeing giants on wild mode, and of course on wild mode Naga Sea Witch is a thing. Thankfully, she doesn't exist on standard mode. But that doesn't mean to say that he can't play giants. You know, more sort of control versions of Warlock will run mountain giants. So okay, our Spellstone is now fully upgraded. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's pretty good. And the nice thing about our 4 health taunt is that it sort of plays around Defile in this context. That's pretty cool. Oh look, there's a giant. So the assumption is this is some kind of cube lock that plays giants. Or it could be control lock. Who knows? Maybe he's playing Twilight Drakes. Handlock was a thing for a short period of time. People did experiment with it not too long ago.
There is a method to my madness.
Okay. It's cube lock. And that Void Lord poses a bit of a problem for us. We were close to killing him. And now there's a wall in the way. A big fat wall, and there's nothing we can really do about it. Well, he's not afraid to utilise his health here, but a bit of healing, fair enough. I think 15 is a respectable health total at this point in the game, and my hand is absolutely useless. Absolutely useless. This is a good hand against an aggro paladin, but against a cube lock it's not doing anything. And equipping the weapon does nothing. I have no demons in hand. The weapon's also scary because in a couple of previous games, the weapon has just ended up putting Voidrippers down on the board without the battlecry effect, which kind of goes against the purpose of this deck. So I would question the role of Skull of the Minari in this deck. I don't know if it's worth running. I mean, I understand it gets your Void Lords down quickly, but it's just very, very situational in terms of needing to have a Void Lord in hand whilst the Skull is active. Now, we've drawn Oakheart, which is phenomenal, because we have the coin, so we can play him next turn and hopefully get a significant board presence going. What isn't so good, though, is that I've had to play a cube, a tempo cube that does nothing. It does nothing in terms of its death rattle, and it does nothing in terms of killing the Void Lord. So he's making the right play here. He's going face. He's thinking, hey, what's the Warlock going to do? What am I going to do against a Void Lord? And classic cube lock here. 10 to the face. 10 extra to the face. And look at how our rolls are reversed. 2 or 3 turns ago, well, he was nearly dead. I pushed a lot of damage to his face. He was nearly dead. The turning point was the Void Lord. Dark Pact obviously has healed him. And now he has a significant board. And oh look, Void Lord, 1 turn too late. Of course. Yeah, we have no choice. So we block his path with 3 taunts here. And what's pretty cool is if he does kill the Void Lord, there's enough space on the board to get all 3 Void Walkers. That's pretty cool and pretty important. Too often if you have a Void Lord down on a packed board, it dies and you only get 1 Void Walker, because there are 6 other bodies on the board. Okay. Well, that's a bit of a problem. Now, next turn, hopefully the Void Lord comes down. In fact, it will. It's the only demon in my hand. But anyway, yes, there's the 3 Void Walkers that we were after. That's pretty useful. It looks like he's setting up some kind of a Defile play here, or a Hellfire play. But he's running out of time. No. Interesting. Okay, this is working out for us. We have double Shadowflame in hand. Just wanted to think about how best to utilise it. What do I want to Shadowflame? I guess the cube is sensible. I mean, it's not doing anything. And now, the roles have reversed. He is on the back foot now. We are pushing damage. We have a board. And look at our hand. Enzoth and Blood Reaver Gul'dan. I like my chances in this game now. Of course, his best response would probably be to play Blood Reaver Gul'dan himself.
So many possibilities.
Or a Hellfire.
Yes. Oh, yes. They'll serve me now.
Hey, it was interesting that he Hellfired before playing the Lackey, but he wanted the packed value, the health. That makes sense. May have miscalculated there on the trade, but actually it's fine.
Forged in blood and shadow.
The idea being that we kill off a minion, so we get a bit more space on the board, so when he does kill off our Void Lord, we get an extra, we get an extra Void Walker, so we're not limited there. So when that injured Void Lord on the left dies, we'll get 2 Void Walkers. Whereas if my if Oakheart had not been traded in, then we've got 6. We'd have had 7 minions on board. It would die. We'd only get 1 Void Walker. So I guess the trade made sense. It also injured his Void Lord.
Nicely done.
The Warlock hero power is especially useful now. We can start hero powering his Void Lords. Because I assume Blood Reaver Gul'dan will be coming very shortly. Or Enzoth. He's taking a lot of time thinking about this. Okay. That worked out for us. If he plays Blood Reaver Gul'dan, if he plays Enzoth, there it is. We have Twisting Nether.
Blood and shadow.
We also have Shadowflame. Not sure what that does here. And I would generally question the value of Shadowflame in this deck. I understand that if you play Voidripper and you switch the attack and the health of a taunt in this deck, then yeah, Shadowflame does get you value with a high attack power. But again, very, very situational. Not too sure about it.
As you command.
Now, we do need to work quickly here because the rope will start burning.
As you command.
It's not entirely obvious to me what the best way forward is. I think I may have ordered that incorrectly. I'm not entirely sure. But in the end, most of his board is gone. That's pretty decent. It's now paving the way for Enzoth. If he plays his Enzoth, then we have Twisting Nether, which is great. Yeah, that's a giant. Okay. Well, we are now setting ourselves up for... Oh no, we're not. Okay, you see, for a moment I saw the Voidripper, I got excited, but the bloody weapon is just going to draw it out onto the board. So we're not actually going to get our battlecry value. That's really, really unfortunate. That's really, really unfortunate for us. Yeah, Voidripper interaction with Skull of the Bloody Manari. Not good. Is there a way to make this deck work without Skull of the Manari? Or to somehow make it avoid pulling Voidrippers? Okay. 2 giants on the board here. Pretty awkward.
There is a method to my madness.
Oh, well, of course. Now, we have a full board. He traded. We have a full board. That means we get our value. Accidentally, of course, but we get our value. The weapon interaction didn't actually go off. This is really cool. And I think we can just win. We can just win. We just need to deal with his taunts. And there we go. How much damage is that? I don't care. We managed to pull off the Voidripper combo. We actually did it. Right, well, the reason I sound so surprised about pulling off the Voidripper combo with my taunts is that is the first time that I've actually managed it with this deck. I've played probably a total of 8 games, 9 games maybe. That's the first time that I've actually pulled off a Voidripper combo, because in all of my other games, Skull of the Manari ends up drawing out the Voidrippers. Or actually there were situations where it just wasn't needed. Value from Enzoth, value from Blood Reaver Gul'dan was just enough to see out some games. And there were other games that I just lost because in the end this deck lacks Doom Guards. It lacks, if you compare it to Wild Mode, it doesn't have Void Callers. It doesn't have Possessed Lackeys, so you do lack that ability to get some of your demons out early. I'm not convinced with some of the taunts. Tar Lurker, you know, if you're attacking with it on your turn, it's very, very weak. Scaled Nightmare, it's a solid idea, but you know, it's situational in that the Nightmare comes down and then you need your Voidripper after it. The deck is innovative, it's creative, it's fun, but it does take a lot to make it work, and for that reason I'm not sure if it is better than your normal Q block in Standard, or if you're comparing it to Wild, I certainly don't think it's better than Giant's Lock. But it's still fun, innovative, creative. Give it a go, tell me what you think. If there are cards that you would swap out, you know, tell me what they are. Maybe you found a better use for Voidripper, or a better deck type that makes use of Voidripper. If you do have any positive uses for the card, again, leave a comment, tell me what you think. So, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, and I will see you guys all again very soon for more, well, I was going to say more Wild Mode fun, that's usually how I sign off, but maybe for more Standard Mode fun. See you all very soon.